Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Wrestling with Things. We wrestle with all sorts of things in sports and entertainment. And now, here are your hosts, David and Sammy Joseph.
So does everybody got to be 280 pounds to take it to WrestleMania?
It's not that though. It's just a simple fact.
We already have our big bully champion with Roman. We don't need two big bully champions, bro. Why can't we have a pussy champion? Miz plays a good pussy champion.
Yo, you know how I feel about Miz. Miz will always entertain you. He will never keep you with all around entertainment. But yo, I really believe they gave him this as one, a thank you. Two, they just wanted to throw a curveball to the fans real quick. And three, they wanted to make sure the Money in the Bank winner had some credibility this year because Otis didn't have credibility. So they was like, "Yo, Miz has to get something out of this." I don't think anything after that. I think would be a bonus for Miz. Is all I'm saying. Those are the three reasons he got that. I don't think they're factoring in anything else.
He deserves the bonus.
Nah. Anything else, if he does get to WrestleMania, I'm not going to be mad. But it would be a bonus that they just came up with, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he deserves it.
He's not believable any other way. That's all I'm saying.
You don't think he deserves it for all the hard work he's done?
Yeah, I can't say he didn't earn it, but when you take into the factor, like I said, it's about dream matches, but it's also about paying off the consistent people throughout the year. He wasn't one of the main heavy hitters most of the year, at least. He really wasn't.
He did everything they asked him to do.
If you really think about it, he was a tag team division wrestler most of the year before he won the Money in the Bank. That's why I'm saying the timing isn't the best.
They only involved in the tag team because they gave Morrison the contract.
Come on, man. So that's like Road Dogg Jesse James, who's in a tag team for years for a while, just comes out of nowhere and main events WrestleMania, bro.
I can't even believe you compared Miz to Road Dogg Jesse James.
He has a lot of similarities. They're great promos.
Road Dogg Jesse James was a clown character.
He wasn't a clown character. He wasn't a clown character, man.
Can be the perfect punk champion, bro. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it with the IC. We've seen it with the US. We've seen it with the WWE. Let him just get his bonus for 2 months, and then you can make either a new star with Bobby Lashley, or you can give it back to Drew. Simple. And then you might have to add one more guy in that match just to make the factor, a little juiced up. I say AJ Styles because it looks like he has nothing to do.
It does look like he has nothing to do, but I don't know. He's a wild card because usually you could predict what a guy like him will do. He faced. If you really look at it, AJ has done something huge ever since he came. He faced Jericho, faced Shane McMahon, faced Undertaker.
Yeah.
So I feel like he has to be fighting a part-timer. That if we're going with his usual pattern,
like who?
They have to find a way to figure that out. You dig up a Christian. Or you dig up Triple H.
Is Christian going to be on SmackDown?
I don't think they decided anything with him yet. But
Edge is going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't think they decided where he's going to be yet. But I think guys like that are a good wild card to think about because AJ usually is in that part-time slot. But I don't know. He could. I mean, if you put AJ in that, he'll make it work. But again, I don't know if it fits storyline sense. Like he's not hovering around the championship right now. He just lost in the Elimination Chamber and kept it moving. He has to be in order for him to make sense at WrestleMania in a multi-man match. He has to start hovering now, and he's not really hovering. That's my only problem with it.
This is why I threw it.
It's not a lot of time left.
This is why I threw it out there because when we see the past Raw, Braun came out, different guys came out, and they all wanted to take it off Miz because they know Miz is the weak link. They know Miz is somebody that they can literally bully around there, and they know he's a punk. That's why you seen guys like Braun and Bobby, and you're starting to see different names get in the mix. So in order for this to really, be memorable, I just think there has to be at least 3 or 4 guys in the mix.
No, that's a fair point. It would really, the match would be, it would definitely get attention, and I think it would be a smart way to mix it up because they don't have a lot of good one-on-one combinations. But I just think fit-wise, you would have to do some rushing and some storyline gymnastics to make it make sense with AJ Styles right now. Even though he's looking good and he's still being AJ Styles, but he's not really hovering around the championship.
Braun just lost, so they can always throw another dude in there. Because remember, he just lost the ball. So you don't bring him back. You make him keep walking.
No, Braun was simply there, I think, just to help Bobby look even more dominant. That's all he was there, I think, for. I don't think he's going to be in the mix. And Bobby looked great. Choked him out with the hurt lock after, speared him, mollywopped him. You call it like it is. Does The Miz have a shot, barring interference, to beat Lashley?
You can't do that, man.
This man is coming for that championship, man.
You can't do barring interference because you know Miz needs the interference in order to get his character some more juice.
Honestly, I think this goes one of 2 ways.
He needs the Morrison interference, and I think Morrison can interfere and also turn on him in some type of way too. Because that tag team can't keep going on forever, man.
Yeah. I honestly think it's been going on too long already.
It's not like it used to be.
Yeah, it's already gone on too long.
So Morrison needs to switch something up himself. So this would be a perfect way to switch something up.
I wish they viewed Morrison in that light right now too. But he hasn't really been knocking it out the park yet. But with the right opportunity, he can. I don't know. This goes one of 2 ways to me right now. Either Miz holds on to the title by DQ or some type of count out, and then Fastlane, we get a rematch with Lashley, or Drew McIntyre comes in and claymores both of them, and we get the triple threat match with Miz, Lashley, and Drew McIntyre at Fastlane. And Bobby wins it from there. That's the way I see it going. I could be wrong, but I think those are the most logical ways right now. Go with a triple threat match at Fastlane and figure out the rest later.
You think they use the triple threat at Fastlane?
I really feel like that's what they're teasing. They're the 3 main guys hovering around it. And I feel like, because Drew didn't show up on Raw, it seemed like he was laying low. I feel like he laid low so he could come next week and interfere and hit both of them. But if I have it my way, Bobby Lashley, give Miz a little bit of 5 minutes to run. 1, 2, 3, beat him. WWE champion. But I think Miz will hold it till Fastlane. That's not bad. But WrestleMania doesn't make too much sense for his character where it was going. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest need their match, man.
I don't think they. I mean, I'd rather them let him go on. Either make a Morrison turn or add one more person in that mix, man. Let them go on and add one more, or either add one more person in the mix. Because if you do the triple threat at Fastlane, what do you do at WrestleMania? Just that what do you do? Not knowing if Brock is going to be here. What do you really do that catches people's eye the same way Roman and Edge is catching people's eye?
That's the thing. They don't know yet. They're making it clear they don't even fully know yet, and they're kind of leaving it up in the open. But I think they're still fighting for a Brock appearance somehow. But I don't think that's likely. I give them a 50%, yo. I give them a 50% chance.
Because you have to find a way to catch people's eye like Roman and Edge is catching people's eye. That's gonna live forever.
Look, I know you have your own thoughts, bro. Hear me out. Strictly attraction-wise, if they can get Brock Lesnar, and I assume no matter what's going on, they're at least putting an effort in to try to talk to him. I would be shocked if they haven't hit up his phone once.
Oh, no.
And if they're hitting up his phone, yo, I know you don't think so, but I know so. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar is that match. It is that selling first time ever match.
And what
and Drew McIntyre could stay. Drew McIntyre could fight Sheamus. You can see Sheamus is begging for that 1-on-1, and that's that.
That doesn't match up with Edge and Roman.
Yes, it does. It's bigger.
No, you're out of your mind.
It's bigger. It's absolutely bigger. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You want to know why?
It's a way bigger match.
You want to know why it's not bigger?
Oh my God!
Bobby doesn't have the resume.
You want to know why it's bigger? Because one, these two guys they match up in size. They both have succeeded in real fighting and worked fighting. They both have an NCAA credentials and one in the NCAA.
All that really don't matter though.
It does matter, and more importantly,
in the WWE.
In the WWE, they've been begging for that matchup for years.
In the WWE, he doesn't have the track record to be in there with Brock Lesnar. Just one by himself.
All I know is that match will get people talking.
If you put Drew McIntyre in the match, now that's a different story.
That would be nice, but I like the one-on-one enough.
That's not headlining your WrestleMania. He needs to build the track record.
It is headlining your WrestleMania.
He has to build the track record up.
I think you're underestimating. Like, think about it. What match do you think would get Brock Lesnar out of his care? I'm sure Brock Lesnar wants a fresh opponent. You don't think he wants a fresh opponent that he's never worked with before?
Brock Lesnar, this is the way Brock Lesnar goes about his business. He goes about it the same way he went about it in the UFC. As long as it's a big deal, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? That's how Brock Lesnar's going to go about it. Bobby, as we speak right now, is not a big enough deal.
You think Brock Lesnar would look at Bobby, the totality of the year he had, and not look at him as a feud that could sell?
His year was.
I disagree.
His year wasn't a main event year.
It's all about what could sell.
His year wasn't a main event year.
It was.
Brock loves proven main events. Proven main event talent.
Says who?
Look at it.
Because if you really look at it, Brock likes proven main event, but Brock also likes people that he knows. If you step in the ring next to him, he could take them on another level. Brock likes that too.
That's the matches he barely does, though.
No, it's not. He took Finn Balor to another level. He fought Ray and Dominic, bro.
Ray is a proven.
Come on, man.
Ray has a proven track record, Dave.
It doesn't matter.
WWE champion.
He is.
Former WrestleMania headliner.
At the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, Bobby Lashley is the hottest Raw superstar.
No,
Brock is not going to want to not work with the hottest Raw superstar.
That's Drew. Drew is the hottest.
Drew, his hotness has cooled a little bit. That's why they're okay with taking the title off him. Because at the end of the day, you can always go back to him. We know Drew's established now. He's the baby face on Raw. But now they need a bad guy to run Raw. And Bobby Lashley is that guy. He is that guy right now.
You just gave yourself a whole nother problem, too. He's a bad guy.
But when Brock fights people, Brock decides what. Brock transcends babyface and heel dynamics. He's proven that all the time. If he feels like fighting a bad guy, Randy Orton, he does it. If he feels like fighting Samoa Joe, he'll do it.
He doesn't usually change how he is.
He doesn't change. That's the thing with Brock Lesnar. He just comes up and stays the same, and you decide if you want to cheer or boo him. But at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar could face anybody. He's proven that. He fights heels and good guys.
And who's getting the big pop in that fight?
Yo, I won't be surprised because Paul Heyman's with Roman. I won't be surprised if they try to use him as in between, make him lean towards a good guy now. I won't be surprised.
What are you talking about, man? Brock don't change who he is. It's for nobody.
I'm not saying Brock is going to change. I'm saying they might book him against more bad guys because they didn't do that before. He might turn good guy now that Paul Heyman's not with them. We'll see what they do with it.
You know what Brock is? Brock's like that dude from Rocky. If he dies, he dies. You know
Absolutely.
That's how Brock Lesnar is. So Heyman's, as soon as Brock is ready to come, Heyman's coming. Forget Roman.
I expect that.
Forget Roman, bro. We gonna leave Roman with.
You think he's gonna leave Roman the way Roman's going right now? It's gonna be the other way around. He's gonna turn his back on Brock.
He's staying with Brock, bro.
Chill.
He's staying with Brock.
I honestly think if he wants to, he could.
Even Brock Lesnar ever again.
Honestly, if he wants to, I don't see why he can't serve both of them. And Brock should let. Why can't he?
No, that's not
serve Brock on Raw and serve. You're selfish, man. Why can't he's the special counsel.
Last time when CM Punk had it, what happened?
that was pretty good.
You know what I mean? He came right back running. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's really gonna do.
Wow.
He's not staying over there, bro. Brock is the baby, bro. Brock's the firstborn. You know what I mean? That's that. No matter what. And at this point in Brock's career, you know he don't want to work extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Heyman is gonna come right back there and talk for him, and be his hype man, and make him his Drago. You know what I mean? So even though back to the original argument, Brock he thinks like a boxer / UFC fighter. Whatever's the big money man, that's who he wants to fight. That's the track record from when he first returned. Right away, it was Cena, the best of the best. Then it was Hunter. Then it was Undertaker. You gotta have some type of name and brand of mystique about you.
Brock, you're right about that, but you're right about that, but I think you're half right about that. He either wants the brand name, the match, the money match that makes sense, or he wants the most ascending name. He always works with the most ascending talent.
An ascending guy.
Bobby's ascending.
Lesnar fought an ascending guy.
The last time he fought an ascending guy, if I have to say off the top of my head, it was probably Finn Balor. He was technically ascending at the time.
And you see that even that was
he fought Braun Strowman when Braun Strowman was ascending. He fought Finn Balor. He fights ascending talent. Samoa Joe. What are you saying, bro?
years ago. Like,
it wasn't as far. It was very recent, bro.
And those no, it was had to be like 3 years ago, I think.
That's not recent to you. In WWE time, 3 years is nothing.
Come on, man. 3 years is 3 years, man.
3 years is nothing, bro. So now you're changing the time frame.
No, I'm not changing the time frame. I'm showing you the gaps he does between that.
No.
Showing that he doesn't really like to do that.
No, it's not that. It's not that he doesn't like to do that. It's that
you can tell he doesn't like to do it. He would do it more often then.
That's not true. He's done it a lot. If you think about it,
it's not a lot.
In 2015, Seth was fully established. He fought him in the one-on-one, that battleground.
Seth was established.
No, he wasn't.
As soon as Seth cashed in and teamed up with Hunter, he was established. He was the top guy on the brand. He wasn't the number one man on the brand at that time.
He won his championship and he arrived as a main eventer, but he wasn't at the level you typically expect for a Brock opponent. He wasn't there. He was still ascending.
He was the number one dude at that time. He was the number one guy. He was the guy they were running with.
Yo, you're doing gymnastics to say that Lashley's not ascending, bro. Everybody else sees him ascending, bro. What is he not ascending?
Was Lashley doing the things that Seth Rollins was doing at that year?
No.
You know what I mean?
There's multiple versions of ascending.
No, you got to be fighting the best.
No. So there's one way to ascend. There's one way to skin a cat. You just told me no, there's only one way.
You have to beat the best of the best talent, David. Is he doing that? He's not.
Lashley's doing it in a different way. A very, very different way.
Top talent is top talent.
He's been the most protected, and he's been the most steady. He's been the most steady with everything they giving him. He's taken it and made it into something that it wasn't supposed to be. That's something in wrestling that always factors into results. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes being put over and beating the best of the best is the fastest way, but there's another way to do it. Every time they give you a storyline, when you make it into something bigger than it needs to be, that gives you points too. And everything that they've given Lashley, he makes it. Well, the Hurt Business has no business being this good.
I'm not questioning did he deliver. That's a different argument. You're talking.
I'm not making that argument. Your argument is that there's one way to become a ascending talent. Do you know what ascending means? That means you're going up. You're getting better. You're getting more believable in the eyes of the fans. Lashley's doing that. He's getting more believable. He's getting more connected. That this character has latched him onto the fans in a way that he's never had before. He's getting it more.
In wrestling, that's how you do it. You feud with the top guys.
It's one way to do it. It is one way to do it.
You get in the mix with the top talents. You beat the top talents. You get over on the top talents. You know what I mean? That's the best way to do it.
He's about to do that. That's why he's coming for the men's top talent.
Especially if you're trying to get in the ring and make it believable with Lesnar, because that's what Lesnar does. And then he's a muscled up guy too. But for you
to say that that's the only way, there's no other avenue for him to get Brock Lesnar. I think that's absurd in a creative business. This is a creative business.
We're talking about Juggernaut versus Juggernaut here. Are we not?
Look at Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
These guys.
Bobby and Brock?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Both these guys.
Right.
So should they both not look like juggernauts?
Yeah. And what I'm trying to tell you is you're right. The easiest way and the fastest way would have been for Bobby to run through everybody else. But since he didn't do that, there's totally another route to it. And I think what you just said about them being juggernauts, all I'm saying is off the strength of, Brock and Bobby are the type of talents, to me, my opinion, all they have to do is be themselves, and it's going to take care of itself. You're sitting here saying all this needs to be perfect. I believe in them. They just need to be themselves. Let them fuck each other up. Let them be big. Let them be athletic. And I believe that is a big enough deal. And I believe Brock Lesnar. It makes no sense to me, because if you believe Brock Lesnar's as big as he is, him alone should be enough for you to buy into that.
No, not in wrestling.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It's wrestling, bro. This is wrestling.
That's exactly why I'm saying that. It's wrestling, bro.
The way your character is dominating over other people, all that matters, bro. All that matters, man. Like if you're only taking out the rhythm.
Well, I hate to say it, it doesn't always matter.
Nah, it matters, bro.
It doesn't always matter.
It has to matter.
It doesn't matter.
The character build up doesn't matter.
His character has been built up in a different way.
I'm not saying it hasn't been built up to a good point. It's been built up to a good point.
It's been built up. He may not be beating those names that you're saying. It would be putting them up faster if he was, but at the same time, he's not screwing up opportunities, and he's not losing either. He's not losing.
It's not about screwing up opportunities. It's about getting in the ring with Brock Lesnar. He was just United States champion, right? You were just United States champion.
Yeah.
So now the best way for me to take you serious against Brock Lesnar, someone who I've seen decimate Hall of Famers after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer, the best way for me to seriously look at you across from him, you got to take out everybody now.
So, because he didn't take out anybody now, he would be a bum. He would be a bum performer against Brock Lesnar.
It's not about the
performance. But that doesn't correlate.
It's not about the performance. It's about me taking it serious that you're gonna beat this guy. Just like what you just said.
Yo, you contradicted yourself. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm not contradicting. It's different booking, Dave.
Bobby's size alone. To the casual observer, Bobby's size alone, and the year he's had, it makes it believable.
Dave, you have to do something with the size. You can't just be big.
He has. Nobody's broken out of that submission. Not even Braun Strowman. That's the size.
Is he strapped it on? That's
Not even Drew McIntyre could have broke out of it when they fought.
He was already in a fight.
Bro, you want to know the problem? I'm talking about when they fought last summer. And Drew needed Lana to get in the mix to mess with Bobby Lashley. Yo, all I'm saying is, when you pay attention to subtle storytelling, the storytelling they've been telling is that nobody could definitively pin or submit Lashley unless something happens, like Lana coming. Other than that time, who was beating him, really? Nobody.
Who was he fought?
He's fought everybody that Raw has to offer. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that this is a pandemic.
I'm talking about top level main event. What type of guy on that level has he really taken down? That's what I'm trying to put right now.
So, but it doesn't even matter, bro.
No, that does matter, bro. You have to do something.
Who's the hardest wrestler on Raw?
It's true.
Who's after him? All right, who's after him?
Okay, I would put AJ in that.
AJ's not hot, bro. AJ's being consistent, but AJ's not on fire. He's not ascending.
Hot for the moment or hot for career?
I'm talking about for the year from 2020 to 2021. Who has been ascending and performing?
He's on that list. Yeah, he's on that list. He's in the top 3 list. I give him that.
Then that's all that matters this year for top matches. Yes, it is.
Rock.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if Brock is like on the phone and they're like, yo, he's like, what match makes sense? Let me look at what makes sense. I could run it back with Drew, or my option is run it with Lashley, or a triple threat. What's his other option? You're telling me your argument is that Lashley shouldn't be an option. That doesn't make sense.
That's not my argument. Originally, you heard what I said. I said if they add Drew to the equation, it would work lovely at that point. Because now you got 2 top guys now. You got 2 top guys, and then you got 1 guy that's ascended.
A triple threat.
If it's just Brock and Lashley, that is for WrestleMania. That is what I'm not buying.
Yeah, you don't.
That is what I'm not buying.
You don't think nobody else is buying that?
That's what I'm not buying.
You honestly think nobody else is buying it?
I'm not saying that nobody should. I'm just saying I'm not doing
You're supposed to evaluate. I respect
because of the way the booking has been going. I'm not buying it. That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
Nah, I gotta respect. If you're not buying it, that's fine. But it's about if everybody else would. And I think everybody else is begging for that. In one way or another, people want to see that matchup, bro. So sometimes the matchup is such a dream matchup to people that the rest of the details really doesn't matter. That's all I'm saying.
Details always matter, man.
If people have the details, don't always matter. They really don't.
You can't say that, David.
If the details always mattered, we wouldn't be seeing Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre. We wouldn't see Goldberg versus The Fiend. We wouldn't have seen Goldberg beat The Fiend.
No. The Fiend's hot.
I agree with you. The Fiend is the hardest character, but yet he still took the L to Goldberg.
But that is what I have beef with. You hear me all the time.
You're right. You're
all the time. I'm the number 1 advocate.
You're consistent there. I'm not saying you're inconsistent there. You're consistent about the Goldberg thing. I'm just using the Fiend example to show you that when you want a certain fantasy matchup, a dream matchup, sometimes the details aren't a matter. You just throw them in there. They didn't have a mapped out plan and storyline when Goldberg beat The Fiend. He just did it just to do it mostly. So why do they need so much of a plan to just give Bobby the match he's always wanted?
Which is wrong. It was wrong.
Come on, bro.
It was wrong to me. And second of all, this is a different story we're talking about. This is Brock Lesnar we're talking about right now. You know what I mean? Like, Brock Lesnar's not no Goldberg. He ain't no Fiend.
I'm not calling him that. But at the end of the day, him and Goldberg shared the attraction label. No, they share that.
It's different though. It's far different. When you're dealing with Brock Lesnar, you really have to look at this guy and look at him like a boxing type format. What is the most thing that's gonna stick out for years and years to come? That's why I said if they can make it a 3-way, I think that would stick out for mad years to come because you got 3 big top-notch dudes.
Well, be honest. Historically, look at WrestleMania. Vince prefers one-on-ones. He doesn't like to do a lot of 4-ways and 3-ways at WrestleMania for world titles.
He prefers one-on-ones if it's actually something like 2 big time, you know what I mean, proven commodities. That's when he prefers one-on-ones. You know what I mean? Like if it's an Undertaker AJ, obviously book it because that's 2 proven commodities. Bobby has to get to that proven commodity level. That's what I'm trying to say right now. That's all I'm trying to say about him. I didn't say he didn't deliver this year. You know what I mean? He's done his thing. The whole Hurt business, they done their thing. But who is that proven commodity out of that? Who?
Bobby Lashley is. I'll give you. No, I agree with you. He has to do more. That's why I'm rooting for him to win this championship. He has to solidify it. Yeah. But there's something to be said for they may not have booked him. All I'm saying is they may not have booked him to the takeover way to beat all the top names, but the way he's been booked, he's been growing constantly and he's looked good across the board. He's done just enough to hover and earn himself a ticket at the right time. He's done just enough to stay protected. Had he been losing the whole year and losing to Braun Strowman, losing to AJ, losing to Sheamus, I wouldn't even be saying this. But the fact that I see WWE doesn't go out of their way to make sure you don't lose unless they see you as a top guy. If they don't think nothing of you, you're losing every other week. Do you see Roman lose every week? Do you see Bray Wyatt lose every week? Do you see Drew lose every week? He put his win-loss record in the vein of those guys. So I think that, combined with the fact that he evolved into the Hurt business, that is what took him there. He's not looking like just another guy that just loses every week, bro.
You know the difference between Bobby and those guys? Those guys actually have top proven commodities on their resume.
You're right. That's why I said he needs it. You're right.
And once, as soon as Bobby Lashley does that, then I will say book him and Brock Lesnar. That's that. As soon as he does that, then I'm gonna be like, okay, let the Brock and Lashley thing happen. He needs to.
Yeah, that's a dream match, man. He has to any era.
He has to collect some names, and he has to look like somebody who's actually a monstrous juggernaut. He hasn't looked like that. Beating the barefooted guy's not enough for him.
Beating Keith Lee's not enough?
It's not enough.
Oh, man. Nah, I want to transition real quick. I thought that was a good dialogue on Miz and Lashley, but I want to transition to Paul White, the Big Show, who's going back to his first name, Paul White, signing with AEW. Man, I got to be honest, Sammy. I know you don't think much of it, but to me, I think, from a business perspective, I ain't mad at it. You can never be mad at it. He's finding a way to earn a living of it and possibly help some new talent around. But this was random. This was really shocking. You didn't hear no rumors that Big Show was unhappy. You didn't hear no contract dispute rumors. This came out of nowhere. And I think this really makes it like anything's possible now, not from the perspective of Big Show's gonna, change the landscape of wrestling. I don't think that at all. But from the standpoint of they got a guy who was working for them for WWE since 1999. Big Show was there since 99, constantly. And I feel like we all mostly view Big Show as, one of those guys that's truly loyal to Vince and loyal to the brand. And I think we all viewed him as a lifer. So the fact that he made the move, to me, in my opinion, I just feel like there's no loyalty anymore, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean at this point, I feel like it don't matter how long you've been with the WWE. If you see that money grab opportunity, I think guys are going to consider anything and consider all their options. What you think about Big Show and AEW, Paul White?
Well, I still think he's a lifer. I still think he's a loyal guy. I just think, I don't even think it was a money grab neither. I just think he knew that Vince wasn't going to use him in a big deal way anymore. So why not, go somewhere where you can be used in a big deal way? Plus, how Big Show is. Big Show actually prides himself out as one of those guys who literally worked everywhere. Everywhere that was a big deal. WCW, ECW, WWE. He's one of those guys who actually took pride in forming that. Now he can say AEW to that list too. It's literally every major market. He's actually put his stamp there. And he knew Vince wasn't gonna give him any phone calls. Let's be serious. You know what I mean? Why not go and still collect money? It's just like the Jim Ross thing.
Yeah, I do think it's a little similar. It seems like I don't think it was anything of like any beef, but I would assume it was like, you know, they said that his contract just expired, and Big Show was probably like, yo, let's talk about re-signing. What are you gonna do? And they were probably like, yo, we'll sign you to this amount to be off TV, but Big Show was probably like, yo, I still want to do something here and there. So they probably let him walk. They were like, "Yo, we're not gonna just sign him to that much if he's just gonna be, not really an active wrestler. He's not that active no more, and I don't think he should be.
Yeah, he hasn't been active in a long, long time.
I don't think he should be.
If you really think about it, his last major role was probably 2011 when he was doing the stuff with Mark.
He was kind of doing things with the Authority in 2015, if you remember.
He would pop in and help out Seth Rollins a little bit, but
he hasn't really been. He popped up in the Randy Orton thing to get kicked in the head and do those little brawls, but man, Big Show wasn't active, man. I'm not saying he can't be a good part timer, but Big Show, man. I don't know if he's one of those guys that for the AEW. Look at the AEW roster, man. I know you're not a big AEW guy, but who can you work with that makes sense and takes them to another level?
I don't see it.
Nobody.
I don't see it. Swagger.
You're going to make a Mark Jericho? That does nothing.
Swagger, he already fought in the past.
Man, that does nothing.
The Brian Cage guy's already fighting Sting.
He's potentially one because he's a big guy. Maybe I could buy him beating Big Show.
Program with Sting, right?
Yeah, he already has a program with Sting right now.
So I don't. Who else is out there? Who else is? And they don't really have a lot of big guys neither. So
that's another thing. Yeah, they're lacking on that. I mean, they got Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who's managed by Jake the Snake. That's a good manager to have. But other than that, there's not that many big guys really.
Yeah, I don't see the money match. I don't see any money.
So it's like, I understand wanting to make a living and you still want to bet on yourself, but I wonder what he thinks the money match is for him, man. The match that he's gonna help out, because I don't see it, and I'm not being a hater.
And again, I said the same thing with Sting too. So you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, even Sting, he left for the same reason. Vince wasn't gonna give him any calls. You know what I mean? After he hurt himself. The last time was Seth Rollins. I don't think Vince was gonna call him and say, "Hey, come back and let's see what we can do." So he was like, "You know what? Let me make my money and go out happy." And I think that's what Big Show wants to do.